What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekly wrap-up with Councilwoman Jamie Torres and DJ Konz. What's up, Jamie? How's it going?
It's going good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. This is the first one back for the new year. We're here. We're back. We weren't going anywhere.
We can officially say that all January.
Yeah.
Right? Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Welcome, everyone, to the weekly wrap-up where me and DJ Konz review what's happened in council and what's happening in community in District 3. And so let's go ahead and get started. And welcome back, Konz. Let me ask you first, did you have a good Christmas and New Year's?
I had an amazing Christmas and New Year. It was relaxing. I actually had a clear schedule all holidays, so it was amazing.
You're refreshed. That's good.
How about you, Jamie? How was your holidays?
Same. We stayed in town. We ended up getting a puppy, so that was our reason to be home with a new puppy. Yeah.
Hey, they'll give you a reason to stay home. Mandatory reason to stay home.
It is actually. She went for her first walk recently, so she got all her vaccines in. So all good.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome.
Well, welcome everyone to the weekly wrap up. And I want to start with probably the most significant headline coming out of council this week. And that was the needle exchange bill that came up for a final vote on Monday. It did pass in council 8-5, but then it got vetoed by the mayor the next day. I'm not upset about it. It's not coming back to try to override the veto. The votes are not there. We need 9 votes to override a veto. But it definitely brought a ton of response and reaction from residents. And some folks were not well informed about what we were doing because they thought we were approving a safe injection site, which we're not. That was not what the proposal was. We can't even do that per state law. So that there was that piece, I think, of misinformation out there. But the others who knew full well what was the proposal, a needle exchange is where you bring in one dirty needle and you can take a clean one in return. And this work has been funded nationally, studied nationally for its ability to reduce the transmission of HIV and hepatitis C. These are major things. They can clog up our healthcare system, particularly if folks are unhoused and can't pay those bills or pay for that care. And having clean needles available reduces those that incidence of illness. What it also does, though, is it creates an interaction point between somebody who's addicted and somebody who can get them connected to treatment. And they have 5 times more success at those treatment options than even hospitals or law enforcement do. So there is science behind and public health rationale behind this. Nobody likes the idea of a needle exchange location, though, being next to their kid's school, a daycare, or even their own home. And what I can say is we have 3 that are allowed to be in Denver right now. 2 of them have already been within the 1,000-foot distance of a school, and there were 0 issues with those schools and with those kids. The one that's nearest my district is a Harm Reduction Action Center. It's at 8th and Lincoln. You drive past it, you don't even know what's happening there. There are nobody hanging out outside. They have a good neighbor agreement. They have an immaculate vicinity. They take a lot of pride in making sure their neighbors are not unhappy with them. And we look to them even for examples on how to improve relationships between some of our nonprofits and businesses in District 3 and surrounding communities. So all that to say, this was some of my rationale behind it. We had a lot of evidence, but at the end of the day, it is vetoed. It is not moving forward. I don't know if you heard about it, Konz, if you kind of saw what was happening in the news.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Anita, it is kind of like it is a real touchy subject, I should say, but it is exactly what it is, a needle exchange. It is keeping, the dirty needles off the street and giving them, unfortunately it's something that's not just, you could just stop. An addiction is an addiction. That's, it's a disease. It's something that's, physically ailing, and some people fall into it, uncontrollably. You know what I mean? We had, a lot of people that got addicted through, injuries
opioids.
and opioids that were prescribed to them. So you know, don't judge the people, don't judge what the city's trying to do. Just know that it is a proactive step they're taking, and it is an effective step they're taking. You know, as crazy as it sounds and it seems, it is a very effective, you know, way to keep the needles off of the streets, literally, like laying on the streets, and, you know, a safe place for them to inject and dispose of their needles.
Yeah, that's right. It's not an easy conversation to have, and but also know, like, for me, priorities as a council person, I look both to improving our law enforcement resources as well as our recovery resources. So both of those are still huge priorities, not just for me, but also for, you know, the city overall. So all of it's going to be needed at some point. We've got a couple announcements on some community resources available. One will be a Know Your Rights training coming up, and another one is called Snow Angels. It may not feel like it today, but we're still going to get snow at some point again. And there's a great program that the city has that we need some more volunteers for. So the first is this coming Thursday, January 30th. There's going to be a Know Your Rights training. It'll be hosted by Revision, our partners at Revision, on Morrison Road in the Westwood neighborhood. And it's going to be led by the Colorado Immigrant Rights Coalition. So obviously this is a Know Your Rights training for immigrants, refugees, asylees, to get to know kind of what protects them, and what they need to know if they're ever like encountered by immigration in the coming months.
Yeah, that's good to see that they're still having these meetings and keeping, you know, the community aware. So
yeah, it's going to be a big deal. You know, we've got from the incoming administration of mass deportations. So it's super critical for folks to know that that can only happen in Denver with local law enforcement supporting, or state law enforcement supporting. And both Denver and the state have regulations in place that we can't cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. We don't have the resources to do a federal government job. So there are protections just locally that our officers won't be doing that, but ICE can still be here. So immigration action will still happen even without cooperation of Denver police. And we need residents to know what they are protected by and what they are not, right? So totally important for Southwest Denver residents to feel safe, feel like you can call 911. We still want people to be able to do that, and that they know what their rights are as individuals and with family members. So this will be in person. Remember, January 30th, doors will open at 5:30 with presentation starting at 6 o'clock. So most folks know where Revision is. So hope to see you there on January 30th.
Yeah, it's like my second home. I'm always there.
It is. We need something named after Konz on Morrison Road, I think.
A taco shop.
You say it out. You know, you're making it happen. So there's a program called Snow Angels in the city. These are volunteers who help people who are seniors, some of our senior residents, some of people with disabilities, just get their sidewalk cleared of snow. And so, Konz, remember a few weeks ago, we mentioned that this program was just a great way to give back to community, for neighbors just who need help with this. They might not be physically able to do this.
Absolutely, you know, and go help your neighbors out. I mean, I don't like to shovel the snow. I'm glad I got kids that could do it. You know what I mean? So, like, hey, young strapping kids, go out and shovel some snow. You know what I mean?
I know. I always remember seeing kids walking around with a shovel on really heavy snow days, right?
Yeah.
And some folks, you know, we might be just doing it volunteer for. Some others might be able to give you $5-10 to help clear their sidewalk. I know I do that. But Westwood is currently the neighborhood with homes requesting the most help, but with limited volunteers. So it is also one of our most active neighborhoods. I know you are. This is such an amazing neighborhood for activation and volunteerism. So in D3, we are going to be resharing the link to sign up because we know that there are some snow angels out there. And just you'll find out kind of who needs help as soon as you signed up. And once that snow starts coming down, I think we're expecting a few inches at least over the next weekend or so. This is a huge help. It's not just a safety issue. You know, you don't want your neighbors to also get fined because they can't get out there to shovel snow.
Yep. And I have an idea. I'm going to put together a team of snow angels called Konz's Angels, like Charlie's Angels. And we're going to pull up in the neighborhood and we're just going to, but the snow shovel will be like this. And we're going to pull up, we're going to shovel some snow. So if you want to sign up for Konz's Snow Angels, hit me up on my Instagram.
Oh my gosh. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. I mean, I've got a neighbor, he's got a snow blower, and he's probably the only one on our block who has a snow blower, but he'll just do the whole block. He'll just do both sides of the street, and he's just walking it down. And it is just such a huge help, especially when we get those like big dumps of snow and they're really wet and heavy.
Yeah. My neighbor used to ride 4-wheelers, and when it would snow, he'd put the plow on his 4-wheeler and be out there having fun plowing snow. And I'd go out and be in my driveway, everything would be done. I'd be like, hey, can't complain.
I know.
So those of you that are at least 18, is that correct?
Yes.
At least 18, get out, shovel some snow, and sign up for Konz's Snow Angel. We're gonna roll up like a snow shoveling gang, and we're gonna clear streets and sidewalks. Sidewalks, not streets.
All right, coming to Westwood, Konz's Snow Angels. All right, that's all I've got. Konz, you have any shout outs?
I want to give a shout out to the D3 team, and once again, let's look forward to an amazing year. Westwood, every neighborhood, you know what I mean, out there. Denver, let's just continue to make things great and amazing, and continue the love for the city and for each other and community. It's amazing. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, absolutely. And my whole D3 team, man, here we are another year. Love you guys so much. Shout out to everybody down the line. Let's go. Let's make another monumental year. Konz. Peace out, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
Have a good one. Happy New Year.
Happy MLK Day, too, on Monday.
Yeah, MLK. Happy MLK.